Yo, what's going on? We're back with another episode. It's the Chill Vibe Sports Podcast. We're back here with my boy Pete. It's
What's
been a
going on?
long, what's going on? What's going on? It's been a long hiatus here, I'll say. Pete got mauled by a bobcat. He's now recovering. Correct, Pete?
Doing pretty good. Doing
That's
pretty good.
good. That's good. I
That's why
told
the
him about going.
webcam's off.
Yeah, you don't want to see that man's face right now. It's crazy. That's what happens. You go in the woods without a proper protection, I'll say. I feel bad for him. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. First topic on the list, we're gonna be talking about Mr. Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State for Colorado. So I want to let Pate, kind of ask me some questions here and kind of see what we think about the
Well,
situation.
yeah, what is it you want to get into first? Is it more his entrance into Colorado or his actual leaving of Jackson State?
I'll probably say the interest of Colorado. I thought it was badass, man.
You did.
You're inside that room with those players there. Just giving them the business. Pretty much tell them like, hey, this a losing culture. It's gonna stop. I have no problems how he talked to those kids in that press conference. Because
I don't either.
Colorado for the last few years, they've been god awful. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
you
they used
know,
to be a powerhouse.
yeah. Back in the day, because I know back in the day when they had like Eric Bieniemy, I know it was
Hmm.
fucking pretty amazing back then. But yeah, man, Colorado. I'm about to pull up their record real quick, but they have been atrocious for the last few seasons here.
Yeah, while you look that up, I would just want to say about him doing that. He's talking to the top 1% of athletes in the nation when he's saying all that stuff. And when you think about it, he's actually being pretty fair to him because he's saying, I'm bringing a quarterback, I'm bringing these players over, these top recruits. It's better than him going in there and lying to him and saying they're all going to get shots to play and not enter the portal.
Exactly. Like I said, man, like their last good year that they had in Colorado of recent was in, let's see, in 2016. It was 10-4 that year. But since then, it's been what? It's 2017, 5-7, 2018, 5-7, 2019, 5-7, 2020, COVID year, 4-2, and then 2021, 4-8. And this year, a whopping 1-11.
Wow.
So, by anyone now telling people, this, just because they get Deion, I mean, he's going to turn it around, but he's definitely getting himself into something, and it's going to take a lot of work here, But hey,
Oh, definitely.
like we say, the money talks nowadays with the transfer portal, you know, because he now has the available funds to get the players he wants.
And he also doesn't have to pull people down to the FCS, which I think is going to be a really big thing for him.
Yeah, because he, it's damn, it's damn near, I'm sure about that he could have probably brought more recruits into Jackson State, but it's just like, oh, it's a black college, how you got some of these higher profile individuals, they maybe not be feeling the black college life, so
They're
now
worried
he's at
about
it.
exposure. Yeah.
Exposure. That's one. He got lucky. I mean, he got Travis Hunter to come, number one recruit in his class that year.
Mhm.
That's really what opened our eyes up here. Like, wow, just imagine this man had a a FCS team here. Like he could really do some serious damage in that portal. I feel like.
Definitely. And he was only there for 3 years. And his last 2 years, he won the conference championship in the
Correct.
SWAC. So, I mean, that the talent isn't just laying around in the FCS, and he just stumbled upon a team that had it. They hadn't won a conference championship in 14 years before he had gotten there, and
Yep.
before that, it was another 11. So, if you think about it, his plan for football games is what's winning them. It's not all pure talent because there's just not a lot of talent in the FCS.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, like I said, I mean, that's why I think what ultimately made him league. I mean, for one, I mean, he's getting a massive raise. We're talking right now that Jackson State is making, I think it was like 330,000. He's set to make 5 million. And now at Colorado.
Yeah.
You got people dogging this man saying, "Oh, you're a sellout. You're a sellout." This man literally, I felt like he set the foundation. To like, well, here, this is what you guys could be. You know, but this is speaking on another topic here. But I know my kind. I'm African American, of course, and I know how messy we can get when it comes to business. I know, and I just know they screwed this man over. It's reports that he was paying for um, renovations out of his own pocket. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's just not something you should have a head coach doing. Definitely.
Yeah, and then also hearing about what else? Some of the money that they was bringing in. For like far as games, he was supposed to get money. For
Or for like
having
ticket sales.
ticket sales and revenue and stuff like that. Promised some money, never got it. So hey, that's what happened when we're messy. Like I said, sometimes us black people we can get messy now. But, yeah, and like I said,
But you,
I don't blame
Mhm.
old Deion.
No, you can't. And then think about it. He's going to Colorado. They're going to be in. They play out of Boulder or
Yeah,
Aspen.
Boulder, Colorado.
Boulder. I mean, anywhere in Colorado like that, it's going to be a amazing place to live. They're they've got plenty of money in the program. Obviously, they're going to give them $5 billion a year. So I think that they could be back to winning Pac-12s or Big 12s in a matter of no time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this now has become a money driven type of thing now in college football. It's like I could just pay to get the best players. Money talks. You know, so I definitely expect them to have a much better season. Obviously, not I'm expecting to go 1-11.
No,
Do a,
no, they're going to do
yeah,
much better than that.
I do suspect they'll go to a bowl game next year. I do believe that. I give it about a year or two. Before we start maybe looking at a more of a higher echelon. But with college football playoffs moving to 12 teams here in the coming years, hey, it'd be room.
Yeah, I think that's a good move for the college football too. But um, speaking of that, his quarterback's coming over. He's going to have to sit out a year though, right?
His son. See, that's a
Or
good
is he going to
question.
be a
I think
COVID
he's
transfer?
eligible. I think he's eligible because his son, or he starts right now for the Jackson State. But I think when you hit the transfer portal, you're eligible right then and there. Like it's different from previous years. Like when you transfer, you couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like this year. With USC, what was the guy name? I think it was Mario Addison. He came from Pitt. Um, fucking said fuck Pitt in the all season and left and went to USC and just started the next year. So yeah, man. His son is really talented though. But like I said, in the meeting, he said he's going to have to earn it. So, but
I think they will. I mean, it definitely. I think they're going to get a bowl game in this next season. Do you think they maybe start the season ranked like 24, 25
uh,
just for the hype?
I can see it. They'll I can see it. I can see it. I mean, they do have a very tough game. I'm not mistaken. Opening game for them next year. If I check real quick, Colorado football 2023. If I'm not mistaken, they open up at TCU.
Or I would. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, if that's the case. Yep, they do. They open up at TCU
Yeah. So
and they turn
and
around and
they'll
play Nebraska, Colorado State. Yeah, that's not going to be easy.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They do have a pretty great opening stretch there. Now Nebraska, they're not as strong as they used to be. I know they didn't they get Matt Rule, not mistaken. They hired him as far as their new coach, but yeah, not an easy schedule there, buddy.
Nope, not at all. But that's going to put them to the test immediately. I'm not a big Pac-12 type of guy when it comes to saying that. I mean, obviously this year USC and Oregon played pretty well, but I think that they could run through those Colorado State, Arizona State, um, Washington State type teams that are in the Pac-12 and get a decent record.
Yeah.
Minus the big games they have to play against USC and Oregon and TCU and all of them.
Yeah, because I mean it's just, and then when you go and look at some of their players to Colorado, like their 2022 team leaders, their running back, their leading rusher had 393 yards.
Goodness.
Their quarterback, their leading passer, JT Stroud, this guy had 1,220 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and a QBR of 19.2.
That's not going to get it done.
Yeah, and then their leading receiver had 470 yards. Jordan Tyson, 4 touchdowns and 22 receptions. So yeah, you know, if you look at their 2022 stats, it was 117 in passing, 116 in rushing, points for 127th, points again 131st. So
how many FBS teams are there? They're like one. I thought there was 125. They might have added some, but
yeah, shit, they just that bad, bro.
that's bottom of the barrel. I mean, they can't get. Yeah, there's 131 schools in the FBS, so
Yeah,
dead last in points against.
yes, pretty much, bro. God, like I said, that's what I tell people. I mean, people thinking like it's gonna be like a instant turnaround. It's gonna take time, you know. It's not gonna be something that's gonna like click automatically. But like we said, you bring in the right people, though. Money talks. I bring in a bunch of 5-4-star recruits and a bunch of good players out of transfer portal. You could turn a freaking program overnight to a number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, in about 2 years, especially when the guys are starting young, and you get a young defense, a young offensive line that can get experience, and then 2 to 3 years down the road, I mean that's a tight team.
Exactly. Very now because but yeah, like I said, it's definitely gonna be a lot of changes being made. Because like I said, looking at these team stats here, I mean, this just smells.
What was the QBR again? Was that 16?
It was 19.2. Yeah.
God, that's horrendous.
QBR. Yeah, this like looking at this freaking like looking at their team leaders, their stats. It just smells of a losing program, It just smells of a and their next leading receiver, rusher, 315 yards, and their next leading receiver had 359 receiver yards. So yeah, it's
hard to do that
tough.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, like I said, they just haven't been good, man. Like I said, that's just that losing culture, man. Once you lose and you don't have anyone that comes in that's serious, coaching wise is serious, that's looking for a change, you're just going to keep losing, man. Like I said, their last good year, like we talked about, was in 2016 of recent. So they went 10-4 that year. 10-4. Hell, that year they was beating teams like freaking Oregon, man.
Yeah, that's right.
It's crazy.
You're definitely right about once you start to lose, if you don't get the right head coach in there, that's what the big difference is. Because you can develop talent and do all that stuff all day long, but if you're not recruiting at a high level and competing every week, you're quickly you'll fall to the bottom of the barrel, obviously, because in a matter of 6 years they fell off to the worst team in the FBS, basically.
Yeah, because the thing is, in that year too, like when it was good that year, that's when they had. You probably heard. I know you heard of, with Lavicia Chenault. He was there for receiver.
Yeah,
Philip Lindsay at running back. So they was it was pretty. Had a solid team that year.
Yeah, solid NFL talent.
Yeah, because like I said, the year after that, 2017 hit, and it just like Now that year, like I said, it was what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it was like 5 and 7 that year. So just a complete turnaround there.
I can't believe Philip Lindsay's been in the league that long.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay, he's been in the league for quite a minute now. He's been there for a long time. But yeah, man, like I said, it's just like since 2016, it just went on a downhill trajectory. Just complete utter chaos.
Yeah, I mean, when you read those team stats, I mean, quite literally one of the worst FBS teams in the nation. So I mean, it can't get much worse with Deion being there.
Oh no. Like I said, because if I'm a player and I heard that speech, that would have done something to me, man. It's like, damn, like this man ain't playing. Straight up told them boys like, hey, go ahead and get in that transfer portal now, man. Can't handle the heat.
Yeah,
But that's
but
what it's.
that's Deion though. I mean, because he even told the guys, you're not gonna dress crazy and act crazy and all that stuff. I mean, literally the stuff he used to do as a player, just because he knows it's a lot different now,
Oh
and
yeah,
he knows how to coach these young guys. And yeah, some of the guys out there probably didn't like the way that he walked in there, but if that's how he's going to coach, why would he lie to you in the
exactly.
first time meeting you? You need be yourself when you go out there and meet all your players.
That's exactly how if I was a player, I would want my coach to be just like that. I want to be transparent with me and don't lie to me.
Yep, exactly.
That's a great way to be for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to wrap it up on the topic with Mr. Deion Sanders there. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the opportunity he's going to be having here in 2023 here with this program. But yeah, you got anything else on this here, Pete?
What do you think? Do you think the TCU game is going to be one of the kickoff games?
I
Big prime time?
Yeah, I will suspect so, honestly, because this guy literally tomorrow the championship game with Jackson State. Well, not championship game, but the Holiday Bowl with Jackson State and North Carolina Central is on ABC. And I swear to you, I've never seen a black football game, well, college football game on ABC ever.
Definitely not a bowl game. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it. And that's what I'm saying. That's just what he brings to your, to your school. Is that, that exposure. Hell, Colorado. I mean, they've been having the most exposure on social media I've seen in ever in my life.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And they're going to eat up those 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock kickoffs on ESPN.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have plenty, and it's gonna be. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado one week they're gonna probably have a freaking college game day out there. That's gonna
definitely.
happen.
Oh, it depends on how much they hype up this game. I mean, it could easily be the college game day if there's no big Alabama games or something like that. Week 1.
Yeah. Like I said, I really do suspect. Yeah, now that you mentioned that's a good thing. That's a good thing to think about. It probably may be a prime time game. Could be.
I think it might. And you said it's in TCU, so it would come on at a decent hour, like 7 or 8 o'clock.
And I bet you this game here, maybe just because the magnitude of it, it could probably be played in a neutral site, maybe in Arlington, the Cowboy Stadium. Maybe something like that. Usually sometimes in the beginning of the year, with the kickoff games, like Oregon, for example, they played Georgia this year in the Georgia Dome. Pretty effed up. Played it right in their own city.
That's what I was thinking about was like the Chick-fil-A kickoff. I was thinking they would probably get something like that. I mean, tentatively, it is in TCU's stadium, but if Colorado can get some transfers and recruits, I wouldn't be surprised if they get like an ABC, CBS kickoff.
And like I said, that's something we need to definitely keep our eye on because that actually probably could happen. Honestly, it could happen. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up on Mr. Deion Sanders. We're going to get back here very shortly for part 2 to discuss the upcoming games here this weekend here and see what we think about them.
Big Saturday games this week.
Oh yeah, Saturday. That just sounds weird. Football on the Saturday. NFL football. All right, guys. Peace out. Just look out. We're going to be popping up in the next episode here.
Yep, and follow us on Chill V Podcast on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes, sir. Don't forget to do that.